morning, everyone. A very good morning. Shall we begin the session? Today's topic is the introductory phase of the demographic form that is used for the IP as well as the demographic information or participant identification. So, these are the tools that is available in the demographic form that is used to issue more and more participants identification that permitting to recognize him or her each time he or she returns a feedback. One option is to use the cookies as we did in the market research application. And there are some people that do not permit their browser to accept the cookies that will be used in this experiment. So the control will go to the form1.template or CFM. And according to this line 2, the participant is assigned an internal identifier that is session participant. So they are computed from the time the form was processed by the server. And a simpler time identifier can be used, but in this session we compute the identifier from scratch to demonstrate the principle in detail. And there is a microscopic risk that two or more participants can be assigned identifier within the same period, because there are a few variables that will be used in the session that is available in the line 3 to 6, including the day, time, IP number of that line, and a keyword which all is required that is saved in the database. So these are required with as an identifier. These are required as a tool for which it is going to be published. It is going to be established within the database. And then follow the demographic forms in line 11 to 64 that displays for collecting the background data about the participants. And even though the advantage is taken of the HTML form possibilities, including the menus to check the relevant options, so templates is also too long that do not introduce any CFM or CFMX features. So they are going to establish, they are going to form with the CF set session participants, that is the seconds now, 60 minutes, then days, months, year now, and the session day is the date format, session time is the time format, host is the CCI.remote address. So these are the data formats or date formats that will be given as a, or that will be used as a now, that will be used as a time format. So this will be available as a keyword, as a form.keyword that includes a demographic form. This information will give you under this form that is needed for classifying your answers about the presentation in the demographic and the social categories that will be used. So next part is the CF set that includes the session day, session year, date format, time format, session host. That also includes the CGI remote address, that is the address for session.adr. This will be included with the so whatsoever the time period, whatsoever the date format, time format we are using up, that is available with the day, time, host, and there is also a keyword that will be defined over here, that is a form.keyword. Then there is a H2, heading 2, demographic form, PP, then BR, then again there is a P. The information that you sent or that you give on this form is needed for classifying your answers about the presentations in the graphic or demographic and the social categories such as the male, female, age groups. Your identity will not be revealed by your answer, that will not be done with your answer, that will be available. This will be used on the reply back, that will be available with the reply box to get the reply items, to get the reply criteria over here. Now, so next part is to use or how to use the or how to make the form, that is the action. So this is the action. First chart.cfm method is post. Action is the first chart.cfm and the method over here is a post. Now the next is the table that includes a tier, td, I. So TR is used to make the table row and the TD is used to make the cells. Now it is available in the I. Is your font face, color red, gender, font, IP. So this is available within the I, and there is a TD, select name, gender, option value is equals to 0. So this is given as a 0, unanswered. Then next is a male, then female, then select will be closed. So this name will be given as a gender, that will be unanswered, male, female, and the select will be closed over here, and the TD will be closed. Then TR will be closed. Next row. So one TR will be closed. The next row will be open for the TD. So is your font face color red? Age, font, IP, TD. The next TD will be open. What is the content of the next TD? That is the name equals to age. Then option value is 0, unanswered. Option value is 1, 19 years or less. Option value is 2, 20 to 24 years, 25 to 29 years, 30 to 49 years, and 50 or above. So this will be given as a object that will be given to make the select options to take the printouts. Then select TD, TR will be open, then TD, I for use for the italic, RU that is given in the italic. So font face is this one, then color is red, string working, then font will be closed in ITD. The next TD, select name equals to object. So whatever the name that is given over here, that is given as an object. Then option value 0, unanswered. Humanities, including the religious and the humanitarian services, then social services, including the law and the business, then life science. So whatsoever we want to print, that is printed over here. And then natural sciences, then agriculture, fisheries, industry, business, services, central and the local government, others. Then the select will be closed, TD will be closed, then TR will be closed, and next TR will be opened over here. Then RU font face color red, Lemming font, then TD, then TD select name equals to resident. Option value is 0, unanswered, 1 Denmark, 2 Norway, 3 Sweden, 4 other European countries, 5 is United States, then there is a value 9, that is the other countries. Then select will be closed, TD will be closed, and TR will be closed. After this, the table will be closed over here, and if you want to continue, click the button. Input type equals to submit, name equals to submit, value equals to continue. Then font color red. Please be patient while the display is compiled. Then the font will be closed. BR for the line break. Then P. Else leave for the URL you prefer. Then the P will be closed and the font will be closed. So this is the demographic form that is given over here. That includes what presentation we are going to. So figure 3 shows that how this form appears to the user, and when submitted, this template calls upon the template firstchart.cfl. It is used to display the first chart, that is the first chart.cfm, that has a two tasks: take care of and save the data submitted by the participant. Completed demographic form, then prepare for sending the first chart presentation to the participant. So this task requires the CF query tags in the line 3, that is followed by an insert into statement. So this specifies all the variables that we want to insert into table with their data sources and their value. And first four are the value of the session variable that is defined in the previous template that will be given as a demographic form. And note that we refer to these by preceding their names with their equivalent or with their qualifier forms because they were submitted by the last state form. And this keyword will be given as a session variable in the previous template. And all these variables are introduced to the database as a text, that is, they are surrounded by a single quotes. So this is the first chart.cfm, then store answers from the participant form. The next part is the first chart.cfm that includes a short answer participant forms that includes CF query. Name is the add form 1 data source, session.data source, then insert into form 1, participant, then day, hour, minute, host, gender, age, subject, resident, keyword, values. So this is how we can insert into the data or insert into the form 1. Then there is a value, session.participant, session.day, session.time, host, form.gender, and form.age, form.subject, form.resident, and the session.keywords. So these are the various parts that will be given, that will be included as a form 1. Participant, day, hour, minute, host, gender, age, subject, resident, and the keyword. Then there is a value. What is the value? That is session.participant, session.day, session.time, host, gender, and the age. These are the various keywords that will be given over here. Then the CF query will be closed. Then next comment is randomize into a random first chart number. This parameter must be between the set to 1 to 75, where 75 is the number of weights. So CF set randomize session.participate. Then CF set session.chart range 175. Then retrieve the first fact number, type and URL corresponding for the chart number. Under the CF query name, select one. Data source is the session.data source. That includes the chart, fact, type, URL from the chart 1, where the chart is a session chart. Then the CF query will be closed. Then next is the set the session variable values. So this is the CF set session.fact, selection 1.fact, then select 1.type, session.url, select 1.url. This will be used to update the calls with the participant identification and the fixed number displayed. Now CF query name, that is the insert call, then data source, session.data source. Now this query will be used as obtaining the information from the database. Then insert into the call, so we are getting the information into the calls, participant, fact, value, session.participant, session.fact. The CF query will be closed. The next comment is the set the initial value of the session.counter. And CF set session.counter, that is our 1. So this image should be displayed for the session.wait set. And this CF set session.wait is random range 1020. So this is given as a random range of the 10 and the 20. And then CF output. Then meta HTTP equiv. Yeah. Then refresh. Content is the session.wait. URL is the back.cfm. And the CF output will be closed. Then first chart. Then display the first image. Then refresh with the form.cfm. The next two, that is the heading number 2, that will be displayed. That is the first. This is the first presentation of the 25. H2 will be closed. Then P. Next is prevent the display selected. Then CF output image SRC. So when SRC will be given as session.url, that CF output will be closed. BR for the 2-line break. 2BR means 2-line break. That color is red. The presentation will be removed after an randomly determined time. Then the font will be closed. Then the second task of this template is preparing for the display of the first chart, and this is the core of the application rather than the complex. And be patient, it is not that difficulty that may be looked at the first glance, but it is included to understand the algorithm or the formula. The first step is to use the randomize session.participant function to provide the system with a speed for the pseudo-random algorithm that will be used. So since the value in the participant is used, that is ideal for us as a seed. So this function will be used for the session.participant variable that prepares for the use of the following rand range function. This will be presented as determined by the function session.chart rand range. This will be given in the session.data source form table chart for the rows where the chart value is the session.chart, and the location of the chart is also contained in the variable URL. So we refer to this query and name it as a select query. So the session.counter is a variable used to keep track of number of presentations sent to the participants. At this point, it is initialized with the value 1. So this is exposed to be determined as a random integer between the 10 to the 20. And line 26 contains a particularly interesting HTML statement that will keep the presentation of the HTML, that will keep the presentation, current presentation in the client screen, that passes the control to the form2.cfm through a small template back.cfm with a warning against the template or the temptation to use the back button. And to simplify, you can substitute back.cfm with the form.2cfm in the line section. So we are now approaching the end of the presentation that includes the selected presentation to the client. And this presentation will be used as the location of the URL, that is the session.url, that shows a random presentation. And this is the first presentation of 25 and several handicapped persons in Germany that will be given, that will be removed after a randomly determined time. So this report will be given, this form will be given as a template to give the or display the for the participant to determine whether it is redirected to the template for the display of the form 1, and the main purpose is to collect the perception report from the participant. And a few other facts are also recorded out. For example, session.start form for recording the start time for working on the form 2. Yeah, this is given as a form 2. Now this will be given as a form 2 that will be presented, that will be represented in the form template. So we are giving as a template for all the participants that includes a time period and the control redirected to the template form 2.cf for display of the form 2. And the main purpose of form 2 is to collect the presentation of perception report from the participants. And a few other facts are also recorded. For example, session.start form for recording the start time for working on the form 2 in line 2. And this also returned to the visitors. This will be used as a start form, ls time format, now HHMMSS. Then report form that will be given within the H2. It is given in the H2, that is the heading number 2. Then P for the paragraph. Then strong, please go, do not get tempted to use to the back button, it may ruin your participation. Then the strong will be closed over here and the P. Again there is a paragraph. This is your report on the presentation which were displayed for you. And these presentations are intentionally displayed for only a short period in order to test how long time should the presentation should be displayed. For example, on a TV, that will be displayed always on the time, always answers are given on the questions. And if the presentation was not displayed, leave the form blank, that is a P, that is the closing of the P. So this is a simple arrow symbol to be used to the right hand side of each reply box to get the reply option displayed and make your selection. That is I and the P. The next is a form. Action is this one, method is this one, table, TRTD. Then there are multiple options. One is the unanswered, demographic, education, research, work and employment, production. So these are the various listing that is given within the drop down menu. Yeah, when I use a select one, that will be a demographic. The user selects research 5, 9, several domain and the other. Then select will be closed, TD will be closed, TR will be closed, and next new TR will be opened over.